Good evening, ladies and gents. This is me, of course, LL, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a rundown of these possible next DeFi airdrops, and we're going to be focusing on layer 2s and bit of layer 1s here today. In case you missed the last airdrop speculation video, you can find that in the corner, so make sure you don't miss out on those because there's so many potential avenues for airdrops these days. Now, obviously, the last airdrop we got was Optimism, and Optimism obviously was a very big one. They are also planning to have another airdrop happening, so it's not too late to participate on the Optimism ecosystem, and you can do that by interacting with the chain on a weekly basis, provide liquidity, do swaps, bridge, and maybe use their NFT marketplace, for instance, and you might be eligible for drop 2. Also, it might be possible that the airdrop 2 is also reserved for the people who didn't dump their first drop. Now, let's kind of jump into the solutions and the drops that I have picked out here today. Now, starting out with a very obvious one, we have Aritrarium, and not too long ago, they started out the Aritrarium Odyssey, which was basically a plan for you to interact with multiple different things inside their ecosystem. The first version was about bridges, and people basically got NFT rewards for that. Here's one example of these NFTs that they were basically giving out. Let's see if there's some other ones. I think these were also part of the campaign, and they paused it right now. I haven't really followed it very closely, so I don't remember, was it like a congestion on the network or some other reason they decided to basically pause this current project. But once it resumes, it's definitely worth it to participate on that, because maybe if you collect all the possible NFTs, you will be eligible for that Aritrarium drop. It's very clear that Aritrarium has incentives and also reasons for basically launch their own token, and I think it's a matter of time when it will happen. It will probably be valued perhaps even above Optimism, so it could be very, very huge airdrop. Doing bridges is one way to get chances to be eligible, but it's theory crafting at this point. Interact with dApps, be active, there's many dApps, as you can see, which you can basically start, hanging around with. And some of these might have their own airdrops as well. So that's another thing that you want to look into. So, get two birds with one stone. Next up, we have another layer 2 here called Fuel. This is still on very early stages, and they are basically a layer 2 solution. They use Rust as their language. So, Ethereum uses Solidity. And Rust is obviously to my understanding, is a very common, language. Right now, it seems that it's just a bunch of code and GitHub stuff. So the way that we can basically interact right now, you might have to dig into this more. Do they have any live dApps? At least based on my very brief research, I didn't come across anything, and it seems in this website there's nothing either. But this is something that you want to keep definitely your eyes on, and they might introduce things in the future. Now, then we have Startnet, and there was an announcement about this a couple of days ago, and it seems a bit on whether there's going to be an airdrop or not, kind of up in the air right now. Obviously, Starkware, there's the Startnet, Dydx. So there's a lot of entities inside this whole ecosystem, and some of them might issue people who use the bridge or something like that. So the Startnet bridge, for example. So that's something I would definitely use. Now, there was an analysis done by a fellow airdrop researcher who talks about what may happen here. Supply of 10 billion tokens, decentralization date. You're not going to get a very decentralized system in case you're not going to be doing an airdrop. That's my hunch, because, well, it depends on what kind of tokenomics you basically have, but the community could vote on an airdrop. So the 8.1% that is unallocated right now could definitely go into the airdrop. It would be a fair sum. It's not too much, and it's not too little. So that could be an ideal thing, or maybe portion of that 8.1% will be going into an actual airdrop. And sometimes, you know, the developer may choose to do like this type of chart and announce no airdrop to basically scare off, like, you know, some people who are trying to game the system and, you know, enter with multiple accounts. But let's move on. We have ZK Sync and ZK Sync. There's many. Okay, the one thing I have to say here, other than that, there are a lot of protocols which use the ZK word. And I, even myself, I'm getting pretty confused which one is which and which is on which chain, okay? And ZK Sync is definitely a high contender to be there for the drop. I think there was some talk about the token, but it was very vague. There was also the Zigzag, which I do believe was on ZK Sync. So it's an exchange of sorts, and definitely what you want to do is you want to interact with the ZK Sync wallet. Argent was recently, you know, associated with Hop Exchange. That could be still playing into the current thing, but who knows. And basically, you know, I have some funds here. I have done swaps. I also have created my own NFT. Here's a budget. I mean, this was actually quite a long time ago when I think about it. And, you know, I've done a couple of interactions here already, you know, from 8 months ago. So, okay, it's been a while. I want to do more, and I'm going to do more. The thing about, like, everybody right now, at the moment are obviously kind of like in low spirits. They don't feel like, you know, doing this type of thing. But if you don't, you know, put some fuel into yourself and do a couple of trades, that could be like a $15,000 airdrop that might drop from ZK Sync. Like, this is going to be very highly valuable on the list. But let's move on. So then we have a ZK Space. This one, once again, like, this is what I meant, but there's many ZKs, okay, out there. But this is different from ZK Sync. They use the same technology, but they're different, okay? And there's already, you know, dApps on it. This one I haven't interacted so much with, but definitely I'm going to do more. And I'm not sure about their token right now. It's kind of been up in the air. I don't think they haven't launched anything right now. Maybe in the white paper, maybe they will talk about it. But once again, it's a pretty new project. When this 21 Q4, so less than a year. So, you know, airdrop is on the horizon perhaps. And they do have ZKC, which is a NFT marketplace. This one actually looks pretty decent, you know. I'm not saying that there's like great collections or anything, but the layout and everything seems decent. And these do not, far as I know, have their own token either. This could be one criteria to interact here with the ZK space, you know, ecosystem. So, and also they might do their own airdrop at one point as an NFT marketplace. So once again, 2 birds with 1 stone. So definitely interact with those. And I think they do have a DEX as well, though. So ZKS app trade. So here you can trade between different assets, and that's something also you want to do, and also provide some liquidity is always a good safety choice. Now let's move on into another one, which is using the ZK technology, and that is Zdek. And Zdek is a privacy-based layer for Web3. It's actually pretty promising, so we don't necessarily need to use things like Tornado Cash. Well, technically we do, but there's going to be just a lot of layer 2s, which are going to be just enhancing the security so much. And Zdek, I think, you know, once again, going to be possible thing. And one thing I did forget to mention is that if any of these projects, which I'm mentioning here today, have GitHub profiles which are asking for donations, go donate. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $10. There's a chance that that might be an airdrop criteria. It was with Optimism. It was with Gitcoin's own coin, and it will be with things in the future. So, okay, this one has quite a lot of weekly 1 Ethereum price. Okay, that's interesting. So the ZK Money, I think this is the application where we can actually privatize our Ethereum. And if people want to have like tutorial videos or something about some of these dApps, just let me know in the comments. But this one is also something I believe is going to be definitely part of the criteria for Zdek. And, you know, I could see a lot of like bullish sentiment for privacy-based layer 2s right now. And then let's move into our last two on the list, which are less known, and that is Gluon. Don't know almost anything about this one, but they were listed on the layer 2 websites. And they're going to be using the plasma technology. That's interesting. But this is not a one. It's partnered with Consensus, so that's pretty good. And okay, they actually do have their token already available. So let's no, that's not possible. Let's actually confirm this, because I was not able to find Gluon. Okay, they might be doing another token or something, because I was not able to find this on well, okay, they have. Let's forget this. And then lastly, we have Layer 2 Finance, which is a project by Seller Network. Seller Network is already a token, which I think they are associated with a lot of bridging and, you know, DeFi liquidity stuff. Don't hold any, but once again, this could be another one that maybe, I mean, they could use Seller as a token to do things, but fundamentally, like, I could see this one being doing their own token or governance token. There's not, so even if certain projects may have their own token, it doesn't mean that they will not launch another one. There has been cases of these in the past. So if there's one the token that's for utility, and then there's obviously the governance token, and sometimes you need two, and sometimes it can be both in one coin. But these are the ones that I wanted to share today. It may not be all, so in case I forgot something, make sure you leave a comment down below. So in case we missed something, someone else might see your message, and I will add that in the description as well. But stay tuned for the next phase, or the third part. We're going to be looking into NFT marketplaces, obviously, at some point, and some other swapping sites and, you know, things that we haven't talked about yet. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon next time.